The ARC-5 or Automatkarbin 5 is the Swedish version of the FN FNC assault rifle with certain modifications, mostly to adapt the weapon to the Swedish climate. The ARC-5 is the service rifle of the Swedish Armed Forces. The ARC-5 replaced the ARC-4 in Swedish service. Later versions also accept the Colt M203 grenade launcher attachment. The current standard issue version is the ARC-5C. History: in the mid-1970s, the Swedish Armed Forces decided to follow the general transition towards smaller caliber ammunition and directed the FMV to procure a suitable replacement for the ARC-4 capable of using 5.56A, 45mm NATO ammunition, which under Stanag 4172 is a standard cartridge for NATO forces as well as many non-NATO countries. The weapon was required to be highly reliable in the near-Arctic climate of northernmost Sweden, as well as being easy to handle and maintain, while meeting a certain minimum level of accuracy. After evaluating and testing 11 different 5.56A, 45mm NATO assault rifles from 1979 to 1985, the FMV chose the Belgian FN FNC, which received several modifications. These included a larger trigger guard and cocking handle, a larger handguard, a different collapsible shoulder stock, different iron sights and gas block, a modified bolt, deletion of the 3-round burst capability, and a corrosion-resistant green finish. Further, the detachable box magazines were modified to be interchangeable with the M16 rifle Stanag magazines. Swedish blank ammunition uses a wooden plug in place of a bullet, so the flash suppressor was fitted with grooves to accept the Swedish blank firing adapter, which prevents potentially dangerous pieces of wood from leaving the weapon by smashing the plug into a fine sawdust. The flash suppressor was also designed to accept rifle grenades, although none have been accepted into service. During the troop trials there were an alarming number of complaints by soldiers about damaged teeth from being struck in the mouth by the blank firing adapter. This was revealed to be caused by the practice of having the weapon slung across the chest rather than the back. Rather than changing this practice, a special plastic cap was issued to cover the adapter. Variants CGA-5C2 The CGA-5C2 was a prototype model during the evaluation and development of the ARC-5 in the late 1970s and early 1980s. FFV ARC-5 The first versions of the ARC-5 family were made by the Swedish company FFV Ordnance AB under license from FN, with deliveries starting in 1986. The ARC-5 is still in the inventory of the Swedish Armed Forces, but is no longer issued to soldiers, having been replaced by the ARC-5C and ARC-5D. This version uses fixed iron sights, and the Swedish Armed Forces have estimated that the maximum practical distance is 400 meters, but it can be used at longer ranges. This brings it in line with the M16, using the Swedish Armed Forces definition of maximum practical distance. As issued, the ARC-5 did not have a bayonet lug. A bayonet lug adapter is fitted to some rifles for ceremonial duties, such as the Royal Guards at the Stockholm Palace. FFV ARC-5 bytes The ARC-5B is the designated marksman version of the ARC-5. Modifications include fittings for a 4A, 25.5 SUSATL9A1 tritium sight, a cheek pad on the butt stock, and removal of the iron sights. This weapon is typically carried by squad leaders. This version weighs 4.8 kilograms and 5.4 kilograms. Approximately 5,200 of this version were made. Bofor's ARC-5 . At the beginning of the 21st century the Swedish military wanted a more modern assault rifle for integration in a future Swedish soldier program. The rifle had to have a rail integration system, better ergonomics and improved reliability. Instead of purchasing a new assault rifle, Sweden opted to modify the existing ARC-5B rifle family already in use, reducing program risks and costs. Before the ARC-5C went into mass production, it was thoroughly evaluated. This was done by having certain units use an experimental model designated ARC-5CF, where F stands for the Swedish word far paragraph RSA paragraph K. During the trial over 1 million rounds were fired and the rifles exhibited a mean rounds between stoppage value of 3,500. The test users found the test weapon too heavy and long, so the barrel length was reduced to 350 mm to reduce overall weight and move the center of gravity closer to the user. These tests were completed in June 2005 and 4 months later, the FMV signed a contract with Saab Force Dynamics covering the modification of nearly 40,000 AK-5 assault rifles, which took the company approximately 4 years to implement. Serial deliveries were scheduled to begin in June 2006 and the ARC-5C was first issued to priority units serving in Afghanistan, Chad, and Kosovo. The ARC-5C is the modernized version of the original ARC-5, following the trend of modular weapons. One of the most significant improvements is the MILS TD1913 rail system, to which a variety of different optics, lights and sights can be mounted, such as telescopic sights and image intensifiers. The double gas position, iron sights and bolt catch of the original ARC-5B rifle family were discarded and the surface finish is black instead of green. New features of the ARC-5C compared to the original ARC-5: increased reliability, mean rounds between stoppage greater than 2,000 barrels shortened to 350 mm, weight reduced to 3.8 kilograms, MILS TD1913 Picatinny rail system at the top and bottom of the handguard, adjustable buttstock, foldable emergency iron sights, automatic bolt catch, ambidextrous selector levers, translucent 30-round plastic box magazines, new slimmer pistol grip at a different angle, modified handguard with cutouts for pressure switches and cables on the right and left side, forward vertical grip at 6 o'clock position, new flash suppressor, tactical sling. The aim.CS red dot sight with a 4 MOA red dot reticle was chosen as the standard optical sight for the ARC-5C. Other day or night aiming optics can also be mounted on the MILS TD1913 Picatinny rail system. There has been some confusion about the M203 grenade launcher. While the ARC-5C is prepared to accept the launcher, the correct designation would be ARC-5 version with grenade attachment for the combination. The bayonet lug adapter for the AK-4 bayonet is not used with the AK-5C. Instead, a new bayonet for ceremonial use only was issued to the troops. This bayonet is attached to the 6 o'clock rail on the handguard. The ARC-5C is now the standard issue rifle of the Swedish Armed Forces, and production of the A and B versions are currently discontinued and existing stock put in storage. Bofors ARC-5D . The ARC-5D has a shortened barrel and handguard. It also features the MILS TD1913 rail system for easy mounting of a variety of sights. Due to the smaller dimensions of the carbine, the ARC-5D is especially suited for Ranger urban warfare units and vehicle crews who often benefit from a more lightweight and compact weapon when taking into account the nature of their assignments and the environments in which they often operate. The Swedish police have used a version of the ARC-5D. See below. The newest ARC-5D Mk2 version has the same upgrades as the C model but retains the shorter barrel. CGA-5P . Some units of the Swedish police have used a special version of the ARC-5D called CGA-5P or sometimes ARC-5DP. Essentially it is a black ARC-5D with automatic fire capability disabled by a hex screw. Unlike the ARC-5D, the police version has fixed sights but is still equipped with the MILS TD1913 rail system to allow the use of telescopic sights or red dot sights. Unlike its military counterparts, the police version has safety catches on both sides of the weapon. See also, Pindad SS-1, Indonesian assault rifle also derived from the FNC, list of assault rifles. References. External links: World Guns, Bofors AK-5 Assault Rifle, Buddy Hinton FNC AK-5 Picture Collection, Automatkarbin 5, soldf.com, Automatkarbin 5C, soldf.com, ARC-5, GAR Paragraph tar Vapen Historiska za Currencyskapit, FMV La Currency GGR Besta Currency LLNING Payen Modifying av Automatvapen, The Swedish Ark-5 upgrade program presentation to a Euro-NDIA Small Arms Systems Symposium May 18, 2006 by Per G. Arvidsson, Product Manager Small Arms Systems var paragraf för its materialverk.